Welcome to LSB Feaster's Radio Air Check and Classic TV channel.
And now, Barbara Howell standing by for news right here on WBZ Boston, the spirit of New England Group W Westinghouse Broadcasting. It's midnight.
And it's 28 degrees in Boston. The BZ forecast is calling for a bit of cloudiness developing overnight. Some snow and rain mixed tomorrow. I'm Barbara Howard with the Midnight News, brought to you by Foxborough Raceway. A lockup remains in effect at Walpole State Prison, where a multitude of handmade weapons were confiscated last week. Prison spokesman Joe Landolfi says that it's not known when that lockup will be called off.
What they are doing out there now is conducting a very thorough and comprehensive investigation. They are attempting to identify additional inmates who are suspected participants and organizers of that planned disturbance.
Once the leaders of the alleged plot are isolated, Landolfi says a lockup will be lifted. 24 prisoners transferred from overcrowded facilities are spending a second night at the Middlesex County Jail. The decade-old jail has never been put to use because it lacks a sprinkler system. Cambridge City Manager Robert Healy is worried about how a fire would be handled with inmates unable to get out.
The real concern of the city is life safety, and how would one handle a fire in that facility without it being sprinkled, and that is really the basic question.
Healy has filed with the courts to have the inmates removed. Middlesex County Sheriff Ed Henneberry, in the meantime, says that the choice was between keeping the inmates in very overcrowded conditions or moving them to the facility without the sprinklers.
There is always the potential of a disaster, but that building, in particular, in relationship to the jail, they do have heat detectors and they have smoke detectors, and that's wired into a board in the control room. And again, the biggest factor is there are people awake and on duty 24 hours a day.
Henneberry says that the inmates are there to stay at least until the courts orders him to move them. Convicted bank robber Susan Sachs and 4 other inmates at Framingham State Prison have been indicted for alleged income tax violations. The 5 were partners of an award-winning inmate-run computer business at MCI Framingham. Police raided that facility early last month, saying that they were out to break up a drug and gambling ring. No indictments have been handed on those areas. The 5 are to be arraigned next week. Well, President Reagan refused to pin a deadline on the nation's economic recovery, but says that an upswing should occur in a matter of months. The president held a news conference on Thursday in Washington. A local economist says that the president may be cautious about when we'll recover, but he is not. Dr. Jim Howell of the First National Bank of Boston says that it will be early fall before we'll begin seeing signs of an upturn.
The prime rate ought to come down another 2 or 3 percentage points over the next 3 to 4 or 5 months, and watch it, and it'll come down, and I think that'll be also an improvement on the strength of the U.S. economy.
Dr. Jim Howell of the First National Bank of Boston. Time now for Group W commentary. Here's Jacqueline Brennan-Wexler.
One doesn't have to agree with all or most of the positions taken by Claire Booth Luce over an extraordinary professional and personal lifetime to relish her sense of humor and her sense of self as she approaches 80. Instead of railing against a headline which misrepresented a quote about her made by Wilfred Sheed, she had fun with it. A cover banner on Harper's Magazine had announced Claire Booth Luce, from courtesan to career woman. With tongue-in-cheek, her only lament was that it would have made her much more interesting at her age if it had read from career woman to courtesan. In a recent interview, Mrs. Luce reminded us all that women are the most powerful single interest group in the world. If they want something, all they have to do is organize. Whatever they don't want badly enough has had it. Mrs. Luce doesn't specifically refer to ERA in the interview, but it clearly falls within her analysis. During the same interview, she laments the fact that married women haven't received the same equal break achieved by single and working women. What she doesn't say, or at least what isn't reported in the interview, is that those 2 groups of women have failed, at least up to this point, to want badly enough to understand each other, to support each other, to join forces in a clearly negotiated common cause. Until that happens, women are only a potential single interest group. This is Jacqueline Brennan-Wexler.
BZ News time is 12:04, temperature 28 degrees.
Say, have you heard about Foxborough Raceway's great treasure chest game? $1,500 to be given away on Friday, February 19th. Admission for Treasure Chest Night is free after the 5th race, and there's no purchase necessary to be eligible for the $1,500 in cash. Be sure to come to Foxborough this Friday night Bring a friend or the entire family, Barbara, because Foxborough is giving away a cool $1,500. 25 lucky players will be given keys and a chance to open the Foxborough treasure chest. If yours is a lucky key, you could walk home with cash, including the top prize of $1,000. Foxborough is open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, plus Sunday matinees. And during this winter season, and a whole lot of people know why they say we're hot to trot. Why don't you find out for yourself Friday night, February 19th, when Foxborough introduces Treasure Chest with $1,500 in cash to be won by you.
In sports, in the NBA, Indiana over San Diego, 119-114. In hockey, the Islanders beat Philadelphia 7-4. Colorado and the Rangers tied at 4 apiece. Detroit 4, Toronto 3. Montreal 5, St. Louis 3. And Celtics and Bruins, of course, were off. BZ forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies, cold temperatures, a low in the mid-20s downtown, upper teens in the suburbs. On Friday, clouding up with snow developing during the afternoon, the high in the low to mid-30s. And then Friday night, light snow, cold temperatures, lows around 30 degrees. Right now in downtown Boston, we have 28 degrees. I'm Barbara Howard. BZ News Time is 12:06, and now back to
Larry Click.
That was good, Barbara. A lot of show business there.